In a world that's constantly throwing questions and doubts at us, what would it actually feel like to have absolute, unshakable certainty? Well, in Islamic tradition, there's a word for that, yaqeen, and it's so much more than just belief. It's a state of conviction so deep it can literally change your whole world. So let's dive in and unpack what that really means. Right from the get-go, the Quran dives into this very idea. It doesn't introduce itself as a book of maybes or suggestions. Nope. It says this is the book about which there is no doubt, a clear guide. And that powerful statement immediately sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about, the difference between human uncertainty and divine certainty. So, what exactly is yaqeen? It's a word we often translate as certainty, but man, it goes so much deeper than that. We're talking about a level of conviction where all that hesitation, all that what if, just melts away. Okay, here's the heart of it. Yaqeen is that firm, unwavering, absolute conviction in what's been revealed by God and His Prophet, and it's completely 100% free of any doubt. Think of it like this. It's that amazing shift from saying, I think this is true, to a state where you just say, I know this is true. And what's so fascinating is that yaqeen isn't just some on or off switch. Islamic scholars talk about it as a journey, a kind of spiritual climb through 3 distinct levels. So let's break down how that works. So the 3 levels are ilm al-yaqeen, which is the certainty you get from knowledge. Then comes ayn al-yaqeen, the certainty you get from seeing. And finally, the highest level, haqq al-yaqeen, which is the certainty of direct experience. Just think of it like hearing about something, then seeing it with your own eyes, and finally actually living it. Each step gets you closer to the absolute truth. Let's use an analogy to make this crystal clear. Imagine someone you trust completely, like the Quran, tells you all about paradise and its beautiful rivers. You accept it. You believe it with total conviction, no questions asked. That right there, that unshakable belief based on knowledge, that's the first level. Ilm al-yaqeen. Okay, now let's take it up a notch. Imagine on the Day of Judgment, you actually see paradise with your own 2 eyes. Whoa. Everything you were told is now right there in front of you. It's not just an idea anymore. It's a visual reality. That's ayn al-yaqeen, the certainty of sight. And then you reach the highest level. You don't just see paradise anymore. You enter it. You're walking through its gardens. You're drinking from its rivers. You are fully living the reality you once only knew about. This is haqq al-yaqeen, the certainty of experience. It's the ultimate, most profound level of conviction there is. The Quran is just packed with these powerful stories that bring this whole journey to life. And these aren't just ancient tales, right? They show us exactly what yaqeen looks like when it gets put to the ultimate test, especially in the lives of the prophets. Okay, this brings us to a really fascinating story, one that might make you scratch your head at first. You have Prophet Abraham, a titan of faith, asking God, "My Lord, show me how you give life to the dead." So what's going on here? Was he doubting? Not a chance. He already had the certainty of knowledge. What he was asking for was an upgrade, to be elevated to the next level, the certainty of sight. And God's response is just brilliant. Ibrahim was told to take 4 birds, cut them into pieces, and place the parts on different mountains. Then, when he called out to them, the birds miraculously reformed and came flying back to him completely whole. In that one incredible moment, he didn't just know God could resurrect the dead, he saw it. He ascended to Ayn al-Yaqeen. Or think about this incredible moment with Prophet Musa. The scene is pure chaos. He's trapped between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's army bearing down on them. His people are in a full-blown panic, yelling, "We're done for, we're going to be overtaken." But Musa, he is the calm in the storm. With absolute yaqeen, he just says, "No, my Lord is with me. He will guide me." That's the power of certainty in the face of crisis. And this profound certainty wasn't just reserved for the prophets. It flowed through the lives of the Prophet Muhammad's companions, and it inspired them to do things that seem, well, almost superhuman. Let's look at a couple of quick examples. Just picture this scene. The Prophet Muhammad and his best friend, Abu Bakr, are hiding in a cave. Their enemies are standing literally right at the entrance. Abu Bakr is terrified, but the Prophet calms him down with this incredible question. What do you think of 2 people when Allah is their third? That is a perfect expression of certainty, that God's presence is the only protection you need. And here's the crucial point. this certainty leads to action. Take Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. He's at the massive Tigris River. No bridge, no boats. What does he do? He just leads his army across the water on horseback. Can you imagine what the enemy thought seeing that? Or get this, Khalid ibn al-Walid gets challenged by the Romans to drink poison. He just says, Bismillah, in the name of Allah, drinks it and is completely unharmed. Now, it's so important to understand, these aren't acts of recklessness. They are acts of supreme, unshakable certainty. So this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it naturally leads to the big question, how can a regular person like you or me actually build this level of certainty in our own lives? Well, the sources give us a pretty clear roadmap. So, how do we get there? It boils down to 5 key practices. First up, deeply pondering the Quran, not just reading the words, but really thinking about them. Second, actively reflecting on the signs of God all around us, in the universe, and even inside ourselves. Third, you have to ask for it. Sincerely ask Allah in your prayers to grant you yaqeen. Fourth, learn from the stories of the prophets, see their certainty in action. And finally, and this is so important, you have to protect that growing certainty by steering clear of voices that just want to sow doubt and confusion. And to really get how valuable this state is, just listen to this powerful saying. The Prophet Muhammad said that after yaqeen, the absolute best thing anyone can be given is well-being, or afia. That puts certainty right up there with health and peace as one of the greatest blessings possible. That tells you everything. And that brings us to a final thought. We live in an age of information overload, an age of doubt, where it's so easy for our convictions to get shaken. So the question to really reflect on is this. In a world that's filled with so much noise and uncertainty, how can this kind of deep certainty become your shield, your anchor, and your guide?